And if they're too low, then we'll be like Back to the Future when the pole strikes the cable going across the road, and then they go into the future. Our mast will hit the cable, and all we gotta do is punch in what year we want to.
Let's go back to the 90s, man.
All right.
Yeah, let's go back to like 97. Before the world went mad.
All right.
Last time aboard Freedom, we left the Dent Island Lodge to explore one of the longest and most picturesque fjords on the coast of British Columbia, the Butte Inlet. After a long day in search of bears and a calm anchorage for the night, we arrived at the head of the inlet only to find swarms of giant green biting flies, and lots of them. So we abruptly changed course and began the long journey towards our next destination. After cruising another 16 hours and crossing the Strait of Georgia with no wind and flat seas, shout out to Jim and Rosie, we arrived in Tribune Bay on the south end of Hornby Island, or what is commonly referred to as the Hawaii of Canada. We didn't waste any time exploring this island paradise, so if you missed it, be sure to check it out. Now with south winds coming, we sadly have to pull up our anchor and say goodbye to Hornby Island. Besides having epic beaches, tons of parks, great food, and a lot more to offer on the island, Hornby is also home to Norris Rocks, a popular small rocky islet on the southwest end of the island. Although the popular crowds of Steller and California sea lions are typically found on these rocks November through April, we're going to swing by to see if we can spot seals or some of the many bird species that call this area home in the summer months. All right, well, I don't see any sea lions, but we have an eagle. Now that we've checked off sea wildlife from today's agenda, we're heading 38 nautical miles south to Newcastle Island, a popular boating destination located just east of Nanaimo. Known as the Harbor City, Nanaimo is situated on Vancouver Island's east coast, about 70 miles north of Victoria, BC's capital and one of our favorite cities to enjoy by boat. Once a coal town turned lumber town, Nanaimo is the gateway to many other destinations on Vancouver Island, BC's mainland across the Strait of Georgia, and the Gulf Islands. For boaters, it's also a great spot to provision, wait out some bad weather, or enjoy one of the area's most popular marine provincial parks. All right, we've arrived in Nanaimo. Here's the downtown part of Nanaimo, and then right across is Newcastle Island, where we're going to be anchoring. Or at least we hope to anchor or get a mooring ball. Wow, it looks super crowded in there. but it's good to see that some boats are anchored. We've heard you can't anchor closer into shore where the mooring balls are. So we'll see. I'm guessing they're all going to be taken. Beautiful summer day. I can't imagine they're not all taken. So we're gonna slowly pull up to this mooring ball and see what the boat restriction is on it. It looks like it says 30, I'm guessing 30 feet. So I'm thinking we're too big. As it turns out, freedom is too long for the mooring balls in the anchorage. But we learned that the dock is first come, first serve, so we snatched up some dock space for the night with easy shore access, so we can explore what, at first glance, seems like a really great stop for a night or two. Well, we arrived on the dock. We're all tied up. And it's time for a little hull wash. Never underestimate Sean's ability to get cleaning ASAP. There's no power and water on the dock, but at only $21 US a night, this location at first glance seems more than worth it. Oh, cool. Looks like you can play checkers and enjoy this beautiful view of the water. So Newcastle Island, in just the 10 minutes we've been here, looks pretty awesome. That concession stand is way more than a concession stand. It's got like a full-on menu that looks delicious. You've got lawn checkers and amazing views. We've heard great things about this hike, and on Navionics, the reviews of the anchorage and the island and the hikes and this just the general things to do were really great. So we're excited to be here and check it out and experience it for ourselves. The last time we were in Nanaimo was like 9 years ago in Orca, and we were across the channel right next to a grocery store, so it was convenient. But there didn't seem to be like a destination type place. But now that we're on Newcastle Island, I can definitely see this being a destination for at least a night. And I'm so happy we got a spot at the dock, because it's the whole trip we've been at anchor and using our paddle boards to get to shore and to get to hikes. So it's truly a luxury to be able to be at a dock where we can just walk up to wherever we want to go. So we can just walk to the hike in the morning. We can just walk over to that Dinghy dock restaurant that we're going to check out and just be really close to this beach across the way. And yeah, it's just being at a dock sometimes is just really nice after 10 or 11 days of being on the hook. Looks like they have kayak and bike rentals too, so if you come and you don't have some toys, you can rent them. It's pretty awesome. And woo, it's still hot. We are out of the main breeze, even though it's still a little breezy up here, but it's gotta be close to 90 today. So it'll be nice to walk to the other side of this island and get closer to the water. On the Strait of Georgia side, it'll be a little cooler over there. Newcastle Island is a popular marine provincial park accessible only by foot via a passenger ferry that runs every half hour from Nanaimo or via your own boat or kayak. The park has several beach areas to enjoy breathtaking sunrise or sunset views and a long trail that winds around the perimeter of the island, which really hits the spot after a long day of cruising. Five and a half miles in, we finally see the boats in the anchorage. This is a lot longer than we thought. It's good to stretch the legs, but man, I wish I would have brought some water. But note to self, this is what we always do. We get somewhere, we are itching to exercise, and we just go. We don't plan, we don't bring water, we leave dehydrated, and yeah, terrible hikers, terrible. So when we got back to the boat from our walk, our neighbors were trying to fish something out of the water. So we walked over there to find out that one of the people on the boat is blind and he lost his cane in the water. So luckily Sean's got his dive gear on board. So he's gonna try to find the cane at the bottom of the marina. It's about 20 feet deep. A gentleman was about to free dive it and we're like, it's 20 feet deep. It's probably, oh, and there it is. I think you got it. Save the day.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And check this out, Martha. The nice gentleman gave us Martha's shard as a thank you for Sean digging out his cane. Look at Martha. Yeah, you're sassy, but you're named after Martha Stewart, and now we've got Martha's shard. Can you believe she's like 80 something years old? I want to be like Martha Stewart when I'm 80 something years old. Now that at least one of us has done a good deed for the day, we're deploying the Dinghy for the first time during this entire trip to go on a dinner date that's quite appropriate for the occasion. Uber. Ready for me?
Uber Dinghy.
Uber Sean has arrived.
Yeah, Uber Sean.
Always on time. You know how you pull up to some restaurants and you wonder if dinghies are allowed or if there's a dinghy dock?
There's lots of signs that keep telling you, keep going around towards the shore.
Oh, so it's not like, it's called a dinghy dock restaurant and there's signs to like keep going if you're a dinghy?
Yeah, out here is where the big boats land.
Oh, so it's not exactly catering to dinghies. I knew it. Besides checking out Newcastle Island, a place we've never been to, We mainly came here for the night to dine at none other than the Dinghy Dock restaurant. Popular with a lot of cruisers, this Triple D style joint offers up watertop dining, sunset views, friendly service, and okay food. And according to Sean, we've been here before, but I have no recollection. So here we are.
Sweetie, right this way.
That's very nice of you. Sean, what would you say about the Dinghy Dock restaurant club? Out of 5 stars.
It's cool because you can come by Dinghy, so it's not like 5 stars for food, but it's like 5 stars for the experience.
Yes.
Right?
How many stars would you give it for food?
You know, like 3 on the food and 5 on the experience, so give it a 4. It's just
4, yeah.
It's worth coming to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was gonna say 3.
Right?
Yeah. And you get valet. Right there. Do I need to tip you?
Yes. I'm in.
Change of plans? Where are we headed?
Going to the big town, Nanaimo, for some Nanaimo bars
Oh!
and ice cream.
Totally forgot. I totally forgot about the Nanaimo bars. We were just talking about ice cream. So we're headed to town to grab some ice cream and 1, maybe 2 Nanaimo bars. I totally forgot. Luckily for us, there's free and easy dinghy parking next to the dockside Mexican restaurant in the Nanaimo Marina, and within walking distance to a huge grocery store. Sadly, like 9 years ago, we didn't get good vibes here, and if we're being honest, we didn't feel safe at all outside of the marina. There was a lot of open-air drug use, passed out drug addicts on the sidewalks, and other sketchy folks. And the Nanaimo bars were stale. Bummer. So needless to say, we don't recommend putting this harbor city on your cruising bucket list.
Hi.
Morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Besides the fact I worked entirely too much on vacation.
Yeah, you've been working all morning.
We got our screen back. Okay.
Oh, hey.
I guess it wanted a break. It's acting a little sluggish. Time for new electronics.
Is that in the budget?
I don't know.
I don't think we had that in the budget line.
The edit.
The budget we just went over.
Well, should review it again, I guess. Today we're going to head into the Gulf Islands. We're going to go to Montague Harbor, which is a popular anchorage. I think there's a provincial kind of marine park you can anchor in with a dock and some trails. And then there's another dock on the south side that has a bus that takes you to some restaurant. I don't think we'll do the bus because we're going to eat on board tonight, but we can at least anchor in the bay and maybe check out some of the hiking trails.
No bus?
I don't know, maybe.
Happy hour?
Possibly. Maybe a bus. And then that'll set us up nicely to go to Ganges tomorrow, which will probably be within, 5 miles or less of Ganges. To get into the Gulf Islands, we need to go through a set of narrows. So an area that's kind of compressed where there's a lot of current that runs, so we're waiting for slack tide. Slack's around 1 o'clock p.m. today. It's about 5 miles from here, so we'll be wheels up at probably by 12, so we should get things fired up at 11:45, so we can get out of the slip, get the fenders up, and get the lines pulled in, and start making our way over to Dot Narrows, run through there at slack, and then at that point we'll be inside of the kind of Gulf Island archipelago, and we'll make our way southbound to Montague. I haven't made a route yet. I'm going to make one now. I suspect it's 25 miles or so, so maybe a 4-hour run. Not too bad.
Sean, though, quick question for you. What wheels are you speaking of? Wheels up?
Oh, yeah. Well, the wheel, the propeller on a boat is often called a wheel.
But it goes up?
No.
Or is this just your channeling your
desire
to be...
If it goes up, that's bad. That means you hit bottom and it went up.
Or are you channeling your desire to be a captain of a plane, not a boat?
That could be. It should be a good day for a cruise. It was a little windy overnight, but the wind's starting to back down, starting to ease a bit. So that's nice.
Yeah, should be a good day on the water.
Good day on the water. Here's our Narrows, Dodd Narrows. So I can click on this little current arrow and pull up this graph, and this will show me the speed at which the current is flowing through this small channel. So right now we're going to low tide, so the water's ebbing out of here and going out into the Pacific. Water running through this channel currently is 2.1 knots of speed, but it'll be increasing over the next couple of hours. It's going to peak out at about 4 knots of speed, and then it'll start to ease up. So slack is when the water in that channel will be perfectly still. There'll be no current either ebbing or flooding through it, and that's at 1:54. We don't need to wait all the way until perfect slack. We just want to make sure that the speed is manageable and probably not more than 20 or 25% of our top boat speed, so we have good steerability. We'd be looking for something like 2 knots or less. Cool. Obviously the most dangerous situation for a boat is when the current is with you or behind you, because you don't have as much steerability. You don't have as much water moving past the rudder. So generally you can kind of go into more current than you can go with it and have safe steerage. But we'll be perfectly fine with a knot or so of current behind us. And since we're not fighting any current, we'll get through that area a little bit quicker. So it'll be nice. Putting in some different waypoints, creating our route. Looks like we have some overhead power cables. That's what these are. So it says cable, power line overhead. Just make sure it doesn't look like they have a height. Sailboats go through this, so I'm sure we're fine, but sometimes it'll give you a height so you can confirm that your boat can actually get under it. And if they're too low, then we'll be like Back to the Future when the pole strikes the cable going across the road, and then they go into the future. Our mast will hit the cable, and all we gotta do is punch in what year we want to.
Let's go back to the 90s, man.
All right.
Yeah, let's go back to like 97. Before the world went mad.
All right.
Do we have enough gigawatts, though? That's the question.
How many do we need?
1.21 gigawatts?
You got it. You got it.
We arrived a little early to the entrance into Dodd Narrows heading south. So we're just gonna hang out here. It looks like a bunch of boats are hanging out as well. We could probably make it. That sailboat's coming through pretty good. We're 45 minutes before slack, so we're probably gonna wait another 15. Just to be safe. Maybe let some of these northbound boats come out first. Oh geez.
There's a 70-foot yacht coming through. After he comes through, then we'll probably shoot.
Cool. Well, we get to see the yacht.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay, that was nothing. I guess you can come 45 minutes early and you'll be just fine. You'll survive. I always do that. I always worry too much. But we're through. And next stop, Montague. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you won't miss next time when we explore a little bit of Montague Harbor and a lot of Salt Spring Island. We'll see you next time.